Welcome back, everyone, to the Nerdy Playbook. Making sure audio works this time, so I don't have people muted for a little bit. Uh, uh, right now, we are actually doing a different way of doing the current charity. So, we actually have a charity going through Scarlet Spidey. So, if you want to kind of say your thing, go for it.
Hey everybody. So basically we are doing Extra Life this month. Extra Life is a charity fundraiser where basically myself and a few team members, and actually hopefully some of the nerdy folks here, will be joining us. We'll be doing games for 24 hours straight. Basically that money is raised to go towards the Children's Miracle Network Hospital. So for the sake, it's going to Lurie's Children's Hospital, downtown Chicago. A great hospital. They do a lot of work for pediatric patients, which is anything from newborn to 18 years old. All that money goes to them directly. It is a completely donationable thing, so you can write that off on your taxes if you are so inclined to do so. All that money goes directly to them, so every dime, which is huge. They're a great organization. I've been able to make it there a few times, play games with kids through Extra Life organization, and with another group called Costumers with a Cause as costume heroes, getting to play games with kids and actually visit some kids in the hospital, which was a really great time. So if you can donate, fantastic. 5, 10, 20, anything's great. If you cannot, we love you anyway. That's okay too. Take a little page from Mooney there. But if you can share the link and get the word out there, that'd be great. So thank you.
Fantastic. So, yeah, we'll be running that for a little while. We'll have a link set up outside of the chat coming up for the next stream. With that, we don't really have anything else, so we're just going to go right into the stream.
We love our intro.
Here we go.
The shit out of it.
Oh, and my screen turned off. Yay. I think it's only doing on this because I was using it all week and it was working perfectly fine.
It doesn't love you anymore.
We're all moving.
All right, so last time we left off, the team themselves, moving their way through Kern's Gap, tried to figure out what was the anomaly that took place. Bodies were missing, disappeared, with only a few that were killed upon what seemed like small explosions within buildings. Following Dira to certain locations where she would know that people would evacuate to, you were able to figure out that only a small amount of the population actually was able to escape from an unknown attack. Eventually tracking down footprints, you were able to follow into the hollow woods of Kern's Gap, and eventually able to find a group of mostly tieflings. Eventually, you were able to find out that they are being led by Zarrus Daemoes, the grandfather of Dahlia and Silic. Taking immediate haste, most of you decide to just go guns blazing, so to speak, and did a pretty good job taking down the soldiers, but eventually found yourself a little bit overwhelmed when Zarrus decided to take things serious. Once he saw Dahlia, he decided to calm himself down. You all made an agreement, even with a little bit of frustration, that if he returned everyone back, that you all would return with him as his guests back into his castle, with the exception that you retrieve Silic. With his opposition, you can clearly tell that for some reason he no longer cares for that grandsire of his. He agrees and tells that he'll be there next day to have the portal set for you. And he allows a departure as you're able to see lights immediately gloom on top of Kern's Gap, and eventually able to find the townsfolk returned along with Dira's mother and father. At the last moments, you're able to talk to them. You can see a little bit of damage, but not severe to the father. That's where we left off. So, you are in front of Dira's what was her home, but her parents are there, and they don't seem too surprised at the damage that has taken place, but they're still distraught by it.
We got here, and everything was on fire. I didn't know what happened. I'm just glad you're back. Daddy, you okay?
I'm fine. How did we get back?
How bad does he look, Tim?
He looks bruised, maybe kind of like a messed up hip, mixture of age kind of getting ahead of him and a little bit of maybe no one looks like they beat him, but maybe someone took advantage of strength over, age.
Okay, we're gonna do 10 points lay on hands there.
Okay. All right, popped it back in. There it is. All right, there it is. Oh, thank you, dear. Whew.
Well, that was one big old sword it looked like you were making. That might have something to do with it. What was that all about?
Well, as he kind of like puts his arm on your mom. Times have been tough, and I was come across a gentleman a while back. Offered me a pretty coin to make at least a print for a shell for a blade. I was supposed to make the housing, and deliver it to a man due north of here, back over in New Averant. You're supposed to enchant it, bring it back here. I've had it for a few days' time, and just started glowing. And as soon as it started glowing, they all came. Directly aimed for it.
So the fellow that ordered it... I'm sorry to ask so many questions, but I'm trying to figure out what happened here. We should... Did he at least pay you for it?
Yeah. Well, it was paid in advance. I wouldn't have taken such a heavy task without coin first. Immediately, your mother interrupts. It's like it's been a trying time on him. Let him get some rest. We're gonna. As she just like looks at him.
I just mean y'all got maybe something to start over with. Kind of looking at
we have coin.
Rubble.
We have coin. All those folks here will work together. We'll be fine. As she like goes over. So let's get back with the community. Maybe they'll find us a place to sleep as they start walking towards this. She's trying to contain his pride at the time, but she kind of like looks over to you and kind of whispers, kind of like, we'll be fine. We're going to go to the shelter and see what the town wants to do. As it's not just them that are affected by this, but everyone else.
Right. I'm going to follow them because I want to know what's going to happen in this meeting as well.
Okay. Does everybody else follow?
I kind of give a glance to everybody else. I got it.
I'm going to follow Dira just to make sure she's okay.
Okay.
I kind of hang back, and I just look at everyone and just say, I'll meet you on the ship. And I don't wait for an answer. I just turn and start walking.
Okay. At this point, too, the fire of all the buildings have stopped. The smoke is still going, as it will for some time, but the fire itself is far past. Rubble of the town is already taken its toll. But all the way south, near the actual lighthouse, there is a small, not really meant for the size of the community, but is kind of a community center of sorts. It's kind of like it's supposed to be like their trading depot for getting different ships in and out. And they're currently using it right now as a place to bring in what everybody has possible, if they got anything at all, any kind of food, grain, pillows, whatever, to kind of throw together. As it looks like nobody's really in charge right now. The head sheriff is either dead or missing. And there is currently no one in charge. And it looks like the only person who's technically taken authority is... how did I name him? Fuck, I forgot his name. Well, the head bartender for the inn. Since everybody knows him, he is currently taking charge of organizing. He's working with his staff to bring stuff in and out between his building of whatever's left and going into the undercellar since it's not damaged, it's still in the ground, and trying to bring in whatever they have that is viable, even if it means that they got to use alcohol to try to use it to save product by wasting the alcohol in general. As just kind of pointing in, all right, we're going to get all the cots and all the pillows over there. We're going to get some food over here. All right, we got the barrels in. Let's try to save some of the food in there. And just trying to work with what they got.
Sure. Does anybody look really hurt when we get there?
There are plenty of people that are physically damaged. More people are more mentally overwhelmed. But there are a few people that are very damaged. Not on death's door, but enough where they have broken bones.
How many?
8.
Okay. I'm gonna look around, and I'm actually going to use my last 3rd level spot. I'm going to cast Aura of Vitality again.
Okay.
And that is 2d6 to one person at a time for up to a minute, so I can do 10 of that. Do you want me to just roll roll 2d6 once and
then we'll just apply to all of them? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's not combat.
All right, that's 6.
Okay.
It isn't much.
Well, these are not really combat heavy people, so their highest HP is like 20, so 6 is still a decent amount for them. As you're able to fix some wounds, reshapen and click back some bones, use some time to help some people actually bandage some people up, and at least help out whoever is medics around here to at least hasten the process. You're able to at least put down a valuable source of energy to at least make other people's jobs easier. As everybody now who are severely injured are just now kind of in the normal, even though it is painful, more of a cramping pain than an actual physical broken bone pain. Muscles are still sore and tense, but nothing is severely damaged at this point. And that will only take time to heal.
While she's doing that, I'm going to help, but I'm also, while I'm helping bandage, just going to ask random people if they remember anything about where they were kept.
Okay. As you start talking around and you're helping bandage people up, the common agreement from most people, minus a couple, they don't remember what happened. Last thing they remember was explosion inside the house. Some of them tried to run out, and that's the last thing they remember, and they just appeared back here. With the exception of about a couple. Obviously, Deer's parents know most of what has happened. And the local cleric, the one that's trying to heal about Daemoes. It seems like the people who have at least some arcane knowledge have at least some information. Seems that what has happened was something ignited. The way that she describes it as a spark of energy ignited all at the same time in every home. Simultaneously. Some people were able to make it out, but there were soldiers waiting outside for anybody who escaped to cut them down. Everybody else took a forceful impact, and depending on where they were located in the home, depends on if they got injured before they got teleported to a place that she does not understand. While they were there, nobody got any extra injuries. They were just imprisoned inside of what she calls hell cages. They were there for roughly about 12 hours before they were pulled back. But no one sustained injuries while in the hell cages. She assumes that anybody who got injuries, with the exception of maybe Dira's father, got them due to the impact of the blast before they got teleported out. Maybe they were so close to the wall that it pushed them against the wall and broke a shoulder or something like that.
Do any of them remember specifics of what ignited inside the homes? Like, was there a certain color? Was
well, if you're asking for a color, the only one who can answer is her, and she describes it as a crimson spark of flame.
And just to refresh my memory, that the soldiers that we saw, they're the...
Oh no.
Oh no. She's thinking really hard about it. Okay.
Everybody just froze while I was talking.
Yeah,
Did you hear anything?
everybody. So the last thing I got from you was you were asking about the soldiers.
Yeah, I wanted to refresh my memory. You said that they were basically like the mercenaries that were working for Daemoes. They were not like New Afrin soldiers, right?
They're not New Afrin soldiers, no. As far as you can tell, they seem to actually be not even like really mercenaries. They're probably just the lowest of the low foot soldiers for probably his castle.
Okay. Make sure I was clear on that. So once everything gets settled a little bit, since Mom was trying to put me off of asking Dad questions, I'm going to kind of go to her.
Okay. At this point, she's kind of like calmed him down, laying him down, and she's kind of like petting his hair, and he's finally been able to fall asleep as she gave him like a little bit of water off of like this broken glass that she was able to find. He's laying down, and she walks up to you. She gets up and she starts moving closer to you.
I'm just trying to understand if the person that ordered the sword from him and had it enchanted is the same one that did all this, or if he stole it.
I only saw it really fast. I mean, he was tall, horns.
Yeah, we know who he is.
Okay, he's the one who kind of swung at your father.
Yeah, well, we'll be dealing with him soon enough.
It's all right. You don't have to. I mean, I think it's all done.
Mama?
He got what he wanted.
Mama, we got our own reasons. One of us. Well, we got our own reasons.
She like looks back at your father, and she just kind of like.
So ordered.
What'd you say?
Just trying to understand if he took this thing that someone else ordered, or if he was behind it all along.
I think it was actually meant for him, but he wasn't the one who gave us the money. The person who gave us the money, he was human, brown hair, very very. He definitely seemed like a noble, which is why your father didn't really second guess it too much. Coin from a noble doesn't seem too worrisome. But your father doesn't really mess with the enchantments, so he had to go to a specialized place to get it done. I don't really know much about it. It was just that extra money was given to make sure that the alloy of the sword was procured correctly. I don't know what kind it is, but it's some kind of dark steel.
All right. Well, we'll find out what we can then. I guess. I kind of look around at the the tavern keeper kind of organizing things, and I guess you'll all be safe here.
I'm sure we'll be fine. I mean, he's got what he wanted, and
Yeah.
we take care of
Yeah,
our
he
own here.
does. All right. I don't like. I saw the checkpoint when we went up to what the hell was the name of that village? The other village. I can't remember the name of it. I pretend I remember the name of it. They weren't letting people. Are we outside of New Averant here now?
Yeah,
Are they written us off?
Yeah, you're outside of the New Averant territories.
No, I'm saying because it used to be like there were soldiers stationed in the village and everything, and now it seems like they're just trying to keep people here. And
Yeah. Are you asking
Are they
me as a
right?
DM, or are you
No.
asking your mother?
I'm asking my mom.
Okay. She looks at you. The soldiers haven't come around in some time. They've been really keeping tight knit about who comes and who goes out of New Averant. I think she froze. Oh no, there we go. Out of New Averant. They haven't come through too much in the past year or so.
Yeah, I think that's for the best.
Well, unfortunately, it's brought down a bit of the coin, unless we want to take by boat a lot of our importing and exporting trails across to New Averant. Granted, they tax pretty high, but zero coin is still zero coin.
Yeah, true enough. Yeah. I don't know. I'm still catching up on everything that's changed the last 10 years. I guess they told you what happened.
I've heard. You've...
God. I'm going to restart Discord.
Okay.
Or Val.
Yeah.
You're getting the tea.
Never an episode without technical difficulties.
I'm telling you.
That is true. I was saying it was going really smoothly
Well,
today,
you know,
so
it's
it only
only
makes
for
sense.
D&D, because D&D has to include so many elements to it. If you're just video gaming streaming, it's easy as like fucking 1, 2, 3. But D&D
Maybe.
streams is a pain in my ass. Took me so long to master, and even then, it's like...
Mother and this stupid technology just...
Technology is a blessing and a curse.
See, I love technology. It
Right?
just needs to work right. That's just what it is.
It hates me.
Right? Exactly. All right. Now, as I was saying, I'm still trying to catch up on everything that's happened the last 10 years. I guess if they told you how that happened or what happened, it's real confusing. But I do know that even if it's hard, better to be ignored by them than be used.
You're not wrong there. But we need to figure out some way, especially at these times now, how to get back into the swing of things. This is going to be difficult, but we've dealt with problems before, and we'll do it again. But you
Well,
don't worry about us. We'll be fine.
yeah, you let me decide who to worry about. I'm grown. Even if I am 10 years behind. I got a little bit more, maybe not a lot, but a little bit more sight on what's out there in the world, and maybe we can find a way to get y'all connected to a better way to live and keep your home.
Roll me a
For
persuasion
now.
check.
Okay. Oh. 16?
She looks at you with a big sigh of relief in that she doesn't want to do this, but she knows she can't stop you. She looks at you. If you're going to do this, and I'm not condoning it, but your father had another blade that was made, and unfortunately it was the person didn't have the funds. So it's finished, but he wasn't able to sell it off to anyone. It might do you some good. You have to go through the rubble, but if you're able to find it, it's yours. Whatever we
Well.
can do to help, just
Daddy's work deserves to see the light anyway. So I'll go take a look.
I'm sure he'd appreciate you having it. He put love and care as he always does in most blades. And this is the first blade that he did where he actually worked with a man up over in Lakeshore to put a little bit of magic in it. Probably do you more good than being a piece of rubble underneath a burning building. If you can get down to his cellar, that's where it is.
Alright. Now listen, Mama, this is not goodbye. I will be home. I want nothing more than to come home and stay here, but there's too much to do. And this fella, he's got it coming. And he's got it coming from us.
Well, I can't tell you can't go, so I will. As she just puts her hands on his shoulders and then she starts pulling you for a hug.
I just give her the biggest hug. I love you, Mama.
I love you.
You take
Just-
care. I will check in with you. I'll have Dahlia message you, check in with you, make sure everything's all right. We'll see. We'll keep track of how things are building, and we'll see what we can do to help.
I'll be waiting. You just make sure that you come back alive.
I'll do my best. You know I always do.
She just looks at you. She's like, and she puts her hands on her shoulders. No, come back alive.
Yes, ma'am.
She looks at you and then she just kind of gives you a kiss on the forehead and she goes back over to sit by your father. Who else is in the building with you other than Symphonia?
Just rewinding a little bit, could I have insight checked Dahlia when she left the group?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, Dahlia, were you being secretive about what you were doing?
I'm gonna try to be secretive about my emotions, but unfortunately, that wouldn't work well hiding from my boyfriend. So
Deception versus insight, please.
Oh, fuck.
you know I'm already gonna get my ass kicked. I do every time.
Maybe not this time.
What did you get?
A 10.
Ooh.
Ooh, I did a 13.
Mm-hmm.
You can.
I would say you can. Oh, go ahead, DM.
I
sir.
mean, you can at least you at least know. Obviously, she told you, but where she's going. But you can't get a good read during to all this drama that's going on right now. Exactly what is in her head at this moment. If Dahlia, you want to illustrate what he would see, that's completely up to you.
You can tell something's wrong. I mean, obviously something would probably be wrong. You just can't tell if she's upset or she's pissed or both.
Yes.
Answer is yes.
Yeah.
Both.
Both.
Both is
Both.
good.
Both.
I think in that moment, he probably would have decided to just give her some space to sort out her emotions because he doesn't want to make it worse. But after like seeing her go, he definitely gets more visibly upset, but does follow after the others to help where he can.
Okay. All right.
So I am after the talk with my mom, I'm gonna go to. Have we figured out the tavern keeper's name? I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Kirsten.
That's right. And
Who's half elf.
hey, Kirsten. Anything you need here? Help getting this organized. Help move folks around.
You know, if you don't mind, if it's no trouble, just if you can head back over. I mean, you seem pretty strong. Help out my friends. They're having a tough time getting some of the barrels out of the tavern. If you can give them a hand, I'd greatly appreciate it.
Of course.
I greatly appreciate that. There should only be a couple left, but if you can at least help them out, they're probably wedged in there. If you can give them just a hand, just pry them loose, I greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I'm gonna not kind of call Zephinia and Gaji over and fill them in on the request. I can go help them. If I don't know if you want to stick around here, maybe look if anybody else needs medical attention or whatever. But I feel like I need to do what I can to at least get them set up for the night.
I'll help with that. Just none of us should be walking around alone right now.
Okay, so you're going with Dira?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Paulo, what are you doing right now?
Good question.
Sal?
Drinking tea and playing chess with Grandpapa?
Fair enough.
I was gonna say,
All of a sudden,
he?
she just turns around. She just looks like, I thought you were asleep. Well, this young man wanted to play chess and drink tea. I can't deny that.
Hades is with Daemoes.
Hades is with Daemoes.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Mhm.
Fuck, I forgot.
That's why I
That's
stopped
why
drinking
we're
tea with Grandpapa.
Yeah, forgot about that. Shit.
He's
Just
the new
chatting up.
favorite son.
We're just chatting it up in the Shadowfell. It's fine.
That's right. All right. So,
Yeah, small detail.
I forgot about that.
I mean, unless he
God.
somehow left Apollo behind.
No. Gaju, what would you like to do?
I mean, I guess I'll help wherever needed, whether that's helping, carry out the dead and taking care of them, or, lifting things, whatever.
Okay. You're just going to help around
Works best
town
for
a little
that.
bit. Sure. Okay.
I will say, though, as more time passes, the more upset he looks.
Okay.
So,
Give me an insight check, please.
oh god. 19.
19. As time progresses, this deja vu becomes clearer to you. You're currently at Destiny's Crossroads. You know that fate is going to be very fickle right now. And that every step that you make, every choice that you choose, everything that your team does between now and at least the next 5 days can affect the next 20 years, whether or not it's the future perceived or something different. Whatever happens, and you don't know which way is which, within the next 5 days, choices are going to be very specific and can change or leave things the way you've already seen them. You don't know if it's currently working in the path that you want or working against it. You just know as this subtle feeling that right now is the huge butterfly effect.
Do I feel this as well? Because I was in the future dream.
It's different for you. You were there and you saw it, but the abilities aren't affected for you. It's essentially Gaju's abilities that see this, but you don't understand why. You were there, you got pulled into it, and you're able to get pulled into your future self, but you don't have the ability to perceive fate, even as faintly as Gaju does.
Okay.
It doesn't appear to you the same way, but you will definitely get a sense if it becomes like that. That is this time. Something's happening right now. You'll feel what Gaju feels, but it's only going to be when that exact moment happens. You'll feel it. Like a conversation develops. A battle might ensue, the choice of whether to fight or not to fight. If it comes to that point that can change everything, you will feel that when Gaju does, but it's only going to be that specific time.
Got it.
And they'll be few and thin. And you will not know, neither of you will know, even with a natural 20, if it's technically a warning to prevent or a warning to continue the way it's supposed to be. You just know it will be something that's going to alert you of a fate that will come true or not. But as you are cleaning up, as you are cleaning up and helping out the townsfolk, between the fire and the smoke, it gives you deja vu of the future that you saw, with Khalid in flames, and the feeling is ever so apparent, and the steps that you feel that will come. This feeling will not go away. Whether it feels comfortable or not, it will stick with you until this event is completed, however you want to put it, as mission, vacation, however you want to put it. Whenever it is complete, it most likely will leave you. But until that point,
vacation.
Yeah.
Right.
However you want to put it.
I'm gonna say that once he kind of makes that connection, that this is that like deja vu moment of like, hey, this is a major thing happening, and like as those memories of the Clade incident kind of come forth, he's going to stop whatever he's doing and he's going to walk into the forest.
Okay.
Gaju, you all right?
There's a lot going on right now, and I think he's trying to process. I'm just gonna go to the edge, and I'll keep watch on both of you, and I'm gonna go kind of to the edge of the forest.
I've got folks here with me. Keep a closer eye on him. He's out there by himself. I understand you don't want you crowding him.
All right, Sophia, give me a perception check.
I
To keep your
appreciate
eyes
you,
on
and
both.
I appreciate you and him helping.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, isn't it working?
Huh? You rolled.
It hates you.
Okay, it does.
You got a
18.
18. You're able to, as long as Gaju doesn't go too far into the woods, you're able to at least watch both Dira and him. But if for some reason Gaju leaves your sight, you will lose. But at that point, as long as he stays within your vision, you can watch both and be alerted if any of them disappear or anything happens.
I'm gonna do that.
We're gonna
and
pause.
Just make sure.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm just gonna say, make sure he's all good, nothing's gonna attack him, and keep an eye on Dira.
I'm gonna pause on that. Go to Dahlia. We haven't had a talk with you yet, so you head to the ship.
God. Yeah, I head to the ship, and I've got a list of things to do in my head. I just...
You get swamped by Arthur. Be like, what happened?
Oh, fuck. I will... A lot, but I need to take care of some other things
Is everybody
first.
alright?
I hope so. And she's just gonna walk away because she has no idea.
As you did give a full response, like the rest of the crew is just like standing there dumbfounded, like you don't notice it till you leave, but they're kind of like, do we have a captain anymore? Is he dead? As like unsure of what's going on, but you keep heading towards your direction.
Do I pick up on that part?
Probably once you leave, you probably just like notice like, oh, he's trying to figure out.
Just
if
yell
the
over
group
my
is dead.
shoulder and be like, "You still have a captain. Get back to work."
Oh, all right. Yeah, you frickin' lazy ass slogs, get back to work. The hell are you doing?
I'm going to. Oh shoot! I gotta remember. Okay. Hades, was the teleportation room, was that kind of like Hades' space, or was that kind of a shared space?
I presume it was shared.
It's shared.
Okay. I didn't know.
All the equipment rooms are shared, even if there's a general person who is like the supervisor or the manager of the area. They're shared area.
As long as it wouldn't be taboo for me to just walk in there.
No, it's kind of like
That
the same
was his,
thing
like,
as
study
like
kind of place.
the only one that'd be a little weird would be the your father's room, just because that is actually his room.
Yeah.
But the other ones aren't actually bedrooms. They're actually
Okay.
true facilities.
I'm going to walk in there just to have a private space. And I'm going to first dig out the sending stone to Hades, because we 3 have a linked sending stone. And I'd like to use it and just say, if anyone lays a hand on you, let me know immediately.
Am I able to respond?
You can respond.
Okay. He will respond back with, Dahlia, I am quite able to handle myself. Get your asses here as soon as possible.
And I will not really illustrate where Hades is right now, just because it's only been like an hour. But I'll kind of give a little more narration as we progress further about where he would actually be in his setting.
Okay. I have no doubts that you can handle yourself, but I just want you to check in periodically. This is very serious.
I will do what I can, but also you need to keep yourself calm, and you need to keep the others together and calm.
I'm calm!
You do not sound it.
I'm calm.
I am very busy right now, and we will figure this out, and if you stay safe. Don't die.
Without saying, and same for you.
Check in 30 minutes.
Okay.
There's no sun, I can't tell!
Okay, so as long as I know that he's still alive, because I just don't, this whole situation gives me the heebie-jeebies. It's time to sending stone Silic. Ooh.
All right, here we go.
Jesus, sweet Jesus. Gonna fish out his sending stone.
Mm-hmm.
And, we're at the Kieran's Gap. I need you, like, ASAP. On the ship.
Why so urgent? What's going on?
I will tell you on the ship. Please. Right now. I don't want to give him details over sending stone. Because he's not going to be happy.
He's like, I'm really preoccupied right now. Can we wait till another time?
This is not something that can wait.
Give a persuasion check.
He's not the kind of... I would be like, I don't know what you're preoccupied with, but I don't want to know as the sister, so... Okay, alrighty. Silic, your bun's down here. That's a 27.
Oh shit. He's like, all right, fine. We'll be right there.
How fast can you be here?
Let me just grab my sword. I can be there in a couple minutes.
Damn, that's fast. Sounds good. Let's put the stone away.
Okay. After a couple minutes pass, you do see the cut through the wind as immediately him and Nyx walks onto the ship. Not really being perceiving of the area. They're just like looking around. They're just like, all right. As they're just like holding hands, walking over to you. What's so urgent? Seriously?
He brought his fucking girlfriend.
Give me a perception check.
That's good.
God, it's just one more potential casualty. For canon reasons, I know there will not be a casualty. That's a 7.
Okay. He brought Nyx along. It's like, all right, what's so urgent?
Wait, no. I can't spend a lucky point, can I? Is it too late?
I mean, if you want to spend a lucky point, go for it.
I do, because this is I feel it in the air. There's something sus going on here.
Something sus? Okay.
That's a spooky 20 now.
Spooky 20. As you first are wondering why he brought her along, you're looking, you're holding hands, you notice that she is wearing a ring.
Well, now she definitely can't come to the Shadowfell. I will not be breaking that up either.
He just looks and all right. We're kind of having a moment.
Well, don't blame me. Blame our grandfather. All right.
Wait, what?
Hades is in the Shadowfell. He
The
took
fuck
him.
is Hades doing in
came,
Shadowfell?
he
Wait,
burnt
Hades? What the hell
Kieran's
are you
gap
talking
to the
about?
ground. I'm explaining it. I'm sorry to ruin your wonderful day. This is fucking sucks. I just kick a bucket.
All right.
Maybe.
Wait.
Maybe-
Why is he in the Shadowfell?
That's a great question. Daemoes burned Kieran's gap to the ground. Deer's parents almost died. A lot of other people died, and he wants us to go to the Shadowfell, and we have 2 days to do it. And Hades is our collateral, so no pressure.
And you need me for...
You are part of the bargain. You have to come. You know the Shadowfell better than anyone else in this party.
She looks at him confused. You can clearly tell that he has not told her anything.
Oh, well, that's not good foundation, so whoops.
Welcome to the family.
Let's just add that to the list of things Dolly's fucked up today.
She just like looks. It's like, all right, I'm missing something. I know that you two are supposed to be from the Shadowfell, but is there a problem with us going there? It's a long, dramatic story. All right.
We have 2 days. We have to be there in 2 days. Hades is there. He will kill him if we don't go. He wants to talk. He really wanted me to go with him, and he almost snapped Zephinius' fucking neck about it. So, this is the hand we're dealt. So we need to find a way to get Hades, get out of there, and no one else needs to die.
He lets go of her hand, and she starts walking over to one of the side railings of the ship, and Millie starts getting so pissed that he starts like grabbing the whole of the railing and starts like almost crunching some of the wood.
This is why I didn't tell him over the sending stone.
She like looks back, she's like, I all right, she just starts whispering something at him. All right, fine. Well, all right. What's your plan?
That is a great question. I don't even know where to start. I was going to commune with our mother to see if she, 1, will answer, and 2, give any sort of insight that, she kind of desperately owes us. But other than that, I have no idea. And we kind of need to think of something, because we just burnt this town to the ground, and I don't feel good about this.
Well, it's any far recent information, I'm the better source to get it from. As much as I'd like to talk to Mom, if you want to know about his recent antics.
I mean, the recent antics, what he wants, what his goal is, how we can talk all of us out of the situation. We tried to kill him. It didn't go very well. I expected as much, but
he always had one goal, and he wants the devils to be the higher power of the world. As far as his reasoning for why he wants you, is the same reason why he wanted me originally.
I can't just tell him to fuck off the way you did. That's not fair.
I didn't tell him to fuck off. He abandoned me.
He wants nothing to... So... Can I just get him to hate me too?
You can certainly try. But at this point, you're what I assume is his last straw of sorts. He needs another... I don't know why, but he needs another blood descendant tiefling to get whatever he wants. I wasn't able to achieve what he wanted, even though I tried naively.
What does he want? Well, to rule the world, I guess, obviously.
All I know is that something happened a long time ago. Him and his brother had a feud. Their powers are locked to their realms. They can't leave without access to their blood descendants.
Well, I'm certainly not inviting him here. So how did he get here in the first place?
He has a temporary amount of time to come to this realm once in a while. Usually once a season he can come in for 24 hours. But he usually has to keep in his human form.
Well, he turned into a devil in front of us.
He probably was only able to use a little bit of his power.
Okay, so what do you recommend we do in this situation?
He just kind of like looks and he starts thinking to himself. He's like pacing back and forth. He's just like talking to himself like, well... Alright. No matter what, we gotta go. He's got Hades, Apollo. You made a deal. I mean, I know it sounds very much on the nose, but he's a devil. It's always in the details. You gotta, if you made a deal with him, you gotta oblige that part to make sure that Apollo is able to at least have some free reign, whether or not it means coming back here or doing what he wants to do over there. After that, the advantage that you have compared to what I had is I was by myself. I was young. I was alone. You got your friends. You got me. If for some reason it does something, at least have backup. He won't try to harm you. I can guarantee that. I'd be more worried about what he would do to the non-devils of the group.
I've already seen what he would be willing to do. That's what makes me nervous.
If he told you, as much of an ass as he is, compared to belief, he is honest. If he says that he'll oblige with non-combat and that you're a guest in his place, he will honor that agreement. But make sure you stipulate a time. How long is he going to honor that agreement for?
I'm gonna be honest, I kind of was just gonna go in there and try to stab him. That was the only plan I really had. So...
His eyes are like wide as hell, like surprised by what you're saying. It's like...
What do you expect me to do? You really think he's gonna let me leave?
Bold move. That's extremely bold. And I appreciate it. But, you stab him and then
what else am I supposed to do? I stab him really well and he dies.
I stab him real good. he's like, all right, well, they don't teach us in many places, so let me educate. This, wherever we're going, is his domain. His realm, his castle, his sanctuary. And all intents and purposes there, he is a god. He can be harmed, but he can't be killed within his domain. There are ways to put him down, but as long as he's in there, he can't be taken down. Not fully. You have to pull him out of his domain to kill him, much like his brother. They are all intents and purposes immortal, but they only have their abilities while they're in their, I guess, locations of origin. Just like any other god or devil, the more followers he has, the stronger he is. And don't be surprised that once you get there, it's going to be a very populated castle.
My concern is how are we going to go, get Hades, and get the hell out without something going on? I doubt he really just wants us to come for tea. That would be really great, but I doubt that that's the situation.
I think it's too late to be questioning it. I'm not saying that you made a wrong move. I'm just saying that at this point, there's no choice in the matter. We're going to have to just roll with the punches.
What does that mean?
If he wants you there, he's intending to probably convert you like he tried to do with me. Just resist. And when he finds you no longer viable, then he will throw you off just like he did me. It won't be as easy as you just walking out, but it'll be a kick out the door.
Viable? How? Is this like mind games? Is this like threatening my friend's safety to get me to do something that he wants? What am I expecting?
That part I can't answer. Like I said, I was alone. You're not. The only thing he had to threaten me of was my own life. I had nothing. You have something. He won't harm you, he won't harm them, as long as he has agreed to...
I do what they want.
As long as he agrees to a truce. And parley is on the table. We're going to pause in there for a second. We're going to go to Gaju. So you walked off into the woods.
Mm-hmm.
How far are you going in?
Far enough so that I cannot be heard.
Okay, so you will leave out of Zephinia's sight.
Okay.
You go far enough to know that with all townsfolk within the town itself, and you are absolutely positive that there is nothing unless it is hidden magically, or a druid as a bird or anything like that, nothing can hear you.
How dense is the forest right now? Are there any, like, old abandoned structures within it?
No, the forest
Rock
itself is just
walls?
that. It is just a thick forest that is just a separation between the street and the river line itself. So the forest itself is probably about only a mile wide, going down the southwestern side of this continent. It eventually gets wider as you go further, but there is no structures within it, at least not immediately that you can find. If you go like 10, 20 minutes, 30 minutes maybe, but immediately nothing. The forest itself right now would be fall time, so a lot of the leaves are dropped, and you have to go pretty far in to stay out of Zephinia's eye range, since a lot of the actual brush is mostly gone.
Okay. We all kind of know that Gaiju is usually one to sit in his emotions and, go think them out and think over tea. And for once, the panic and the fear and the anger has pushed him past that point. And as soon as he is sure that he is out of hearing range from anyone, he lets that rage take over, and he just takes it out on the nearby trees until he is breathless.
Okay.
And probably bleeding and whatever, but
Okay.
he is not well, and he needs to put it somewhere.
Sure. You take out your aggression.
Mm-hmm.
You're able to find a tree, and you start fisting a fist, and then slashing and using all different kind of weapons. Bludgeoning, sure, we'll go with that. That sounds better.
Yes, let me fist a tree.
I was doing well until I saw Ben's face. I had it until I saw his face.
But yeah, no, he's just gonna.
Okay. All right.
I was taken off guard. Sorry.
Yep. Back to Dira and Zephinia. As you're helping out the team go through the rubble, and you're able to help out get out the last few barrels of what are half full, large, about 10-foot tall barrels that you have to actually help kind of roll out and then help kind of tip to get through the walls and the doors and stuff like that. But you're able to help move through the obstacles themselves. And after about a good half an hour, you're able to assist with what the job required, which is getting the last usable items out of the tavern and bringing them into the community center of sorts. Whether or not you want to give them that you show that you acquired them, or whether or not you want to take them from yourself, you were able to find out there was some coin left behind and some bottles of liquor there on the shelves that are left behind, and it is up to you whether or not you want to give them back to her or if you want to keep them for yourself.
No, I'll give them straight to the
So you
We
give
found
her-
this as well.
Oh, jeez, thank you. Oh, God, that's going to be so helpful. I'm glad you're able to find that. She starts kind of like putting them in like certain kind of like crates and stuff like that, and she's kind of like going around, she's collecting as much coin she got, and she's kind of putting into those coin purses. You can assume that at this point she's, due to the weight, not enough to sustain the town, but you can assume maybe a good portion to at least rebuild one of the houses.
I'm trying to figure out how much of my money I have on me. I'm gonna kind of quietly turn around because I'm frankly embarrassed to have it. I've never seen as much money as I currently have. I am gonna give them 50 platinum out of what I have.
Okay. And you got
I'm actually gonna give it to my mom.
Okay.
Just to. Everybody's gonna need help. I trust you to figure out where it goes.
Oh,
They got enough to worry about.
are you sure? I mean, you've done a lot of work to make this
Mama.
money.
Mom, there was a dragon. She didn't do much work for it. Easy come, easy go. You need it more.
Okay. I'll be honest. I've never held this much. Don't think I've held platinum before. This is
Let me tell you, the day that we killed that dragon and I saw that, it was something. But I don't even know what to do with it. You do. The town needs it.
As you know, your parents aren't ones that like to hold on to a lot of coin they make as they go. Having this much money is almost like it's a happiness, but sort of like a burden on her to have this much money available. So
I know I'm giving you responsibility, Mama. If you wanna, as
I'll
things
take care
come
of
together,
it. Yeah.
as things come together the next few days, as leadership comes forward, then you can help them.
Okay, all right. I'll figure it out.
And I'm trusting you. I love you.
I love you too, Dira. She just kind of closes up and she starts like walking, and she just starts kind of tearing up, trying to hold it back, but she kind of just leans her head up against you, and she just kind of puts her weight against your body. Like she was holding up until that point, and she just kind of broke.
You're gonna get through this, Mama. I know everybody is.
It's gonna be hard, but I
know.
This will help. This
You know a lot about
it will
that.
help. She just
And we're gonna do what we can, because y'all deserve it. This happened through no fault of yours, and you deserve help to rebuild.
Thank you. She takes it and she starts moving on, and she starts going around, and she starts kind of immediately trying to figure out like an immediate job, trying to figure out like right off the bat with some other people of what is the immediate jobs that need to be taken care of right away. She starts trying to find
Everyone
people.
has something to focus on.
Yeah. And she starts going around, she starts trying to figure out who are the builders and stuff like that. And she starts kind of working with some people, including the tavern, to try to figure out who needs to go get supplies. And she starts working on allocating money to send people out for supplies.
Well, I see that starting, and that was what I was hoping to see. I guess we should probably go over to Zafini. I guess we should probably get back to the ship soon, but I got an errand. I'll explain it on the way. If you'll come with me back to my parents' house. We should find out you, though.
Take a look over into the woods and turn to Dira and just say, I know he's probably wanting to be alone, but let's go find him.
After a few minutes, like this is maybe like 10 minutes, 15 minutes after you lost sight of Gaju, you don't hear anything, but random spot like maybe half a mile in, just something happened, and you just see like a bunch of birds like fly out, like a sound happened that just like alerted the birds.
I'm gonna hurry up my pace and kind of nod for Dira. I'm not gonna say anything, just do a nod like we need to go.
Okay.
Yep.
And head towards the area.
Gaju, how long are you doing this task you were doing?
I'm gonna be honest, probably only a minute or two, because swinging at something that hard definitely wears you the fuck out.
Yeah.
So how long would I probably have until they like
I mean, after if you only did like a minute, you'd probably still have like about 20 minutes before they got there.
Okay. I think Gaju would probably spend like a couple of minutes just like recuperating and like fully calming himself down after that. And even though his hands are probably shaky, he's gonna pull out some parchment and a quill from his bag and write a couple of short letters, and he's gonna fold them up and kind of put them in like a little envelope, and he's also going to reach into his bag and pull out a small box, and he's gonna pop it open, and inside is a small silver ring with purple jewels in it. And he's gonna spend a minute kind of looking at that before closing it and tying it to the letters. And probably by the time he's done with that is when the others would catch up to him.
Okay. So, about the time that you two find Gaju, whether or not the letters are in the hands or put away, you do see him either sitting or laying, depending on your position. You do see that
Probably sitting.
you definitely see stamina drained and bruised up hands, a little bit bloodied, with a little bit of what looks like blood marks against a tree that he'd be leaning up against. It's pretty evident of what you could pretty much guess of what happened.
I'm gonna slow down once I take stock of everything in front of me and just turn to Gaju and just, you good?
No. But we push on, right?
Honest answer. We like those. I'll throw my hand up.
He'll kind of like shakily take it and climb up.
I'm gonna clap him on the shoulder as like
And
a
I'm gonna
reassuring.
sneak about 5. I'm gonna sneak 5 points of lay on hands into those. We might need that. Might need. Don't take offense. Might need those hands.
I hope not today.
Hear that?
All right.
You
So
feeling better? Annie?
A bit. But perhaps while I have you both out here, I would like to speak to you.
All right.
I don't remember if you... It's been so long for me, but really not all that long for you two. The night that I was somewhat knocked unconscious in the forest on Sargaria.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I remember. All right.
Not
Thought we lost
something
you.
I would forget.
I don't believe at the time I said too many details about the experience, but Zephydia was... I was pretty blunt those days, wasn't I?
When you said anything at all.
Still pretty quiet, but yeah. That night, I was sent into the future. I don't know how far or when, but I faced Daemoes. And I watched Dahlia die. And since then, I have promised myself that I would not let that happen. I know it seems that that is a very high reality. So I would like to ask you both a favor. Whatever happens when we go to Daemoes, if a fight or whatever, I don't know what to expect. If you have to choose between me and Dahlia, you choose Dahlia. I do not care if I am alive or injured, dying or dead. You choose her. And he's gonna kind of like hold out the letters and a small box. And he's gonna kind of like hold it out to Zephydia. And if something happens to me, you give her those.
I'd like to say nothing's going to happen to you, but with our luck going around, we're gonna try our
There's definitely-
damnedest not to let anything.
Either one of you.
We're not
But-
gonna let that. Sorry, go ahead.
But, well, Let me put it this way: if she heard this conversation, she'd make us promise other thing.
No, she would. And I'm unfortunately banking on her doing that still.
But
What the truth is,
the thing
Dahlia
is, Bob,
deserves a long life.
well, it ain't just that. She's what he wants. And that is, everything else aside, the only reason I will agree to this. Because
We're not
you don't get to value yourself lower. But he does. And it is about him not getting what he wants.
And that's all that I could ask for.
We're clear
We are
on that.
not letting that future come to pass.
No,
I am
we are
not watching that twice. And I'm gonna shove the box back at Gaiju. And you're gonna give this to her yourself. I'll keep your promise. But you're giving this to her yourself.
All I ask is that you just hold on to it for now. You are more than welcome to hand it back to me afterwards. And believe me, I do want to live. There's a lot that I have planned for Dahlia and I's future, but I've always been one to be realistic. And I've seen enough. And then, if it comes to that, I'm ready to go.
Well, then let's make sure it don't come to that. You both agree on that?
100%.
All right.
By me.
Well, if you will indulge me one more time at what is left of the house where I grew up, apparently there's one more surprise right in there for me.
Another?
It sounds like this is one we want to find. And as we walk through the village, I fill them in on what my mother told me.
Alright.
And we'll search for the sword.
Try and get into the basement.
Okay. Knowing how to get there, give me just a strength check from both of you just to start moving through stuff to make sure you're not injuring yourself by having the rest of the stuff collapse on you as you're trying to move pieces out of the way to get to the center.
I am apparently
Which
being a
two?
bit reckless because that's a 10.
Oof.
What are we rolling? I'm sorry.
Strength.
Strength check.
All of us?
No, just those two. I'm sorry, you're with two. You're with two, so yes, you.
Okay.
I forgot that you were with.
Oh no!
Oh.
Uh-oh.
16?
16.
A general strength check?
Yeah.
That's a 5.
Oof.
Oh!
I rolled
We're
a
having
2.
a really rough night.
Yeah.
I'm
we're
like
having a
still
rough
really
night.
distressed.
We used
Yeah,
all
yeah.
our muscles earlier.
Yeah, mine was a natural 4 gravity, so I'm right with you there.
As you are pushing your way through and it's rough going for the first like 10 minutes. As you start going through, you immediately have to pull back as you accidentally pull out a support beam and collapse down some more stuff, making it more difficult for you to proceed further. You can still do it, but the DC will not be higher for you to try it again. If you want to continue trying it, you can do it again, but the DC will be a little bit higher because you got more rubble in your way. You can do it as strength checks again as a group.
It.
I don't want to leave it behind.
Okay, that's
Mom
better.
told me it was there for a reason.
That's a 17.
That's better.
That is
Oh, no.
a 23.
Ooh,
Oh
all right.
no!
That's a
Oh,
natural
no.
1 for
Oh.
a 7.
No.
But what does that give you in
For
total?
4. For 4.
For 4? Okay, so... Alright, so as you guys are
I was
pushing
looking
forward...
at my save. Sorry, that's just a 4.
Luckily, the two others are pretty good as you're able to push through, and it's going to take you roughly about a good couple hours. It's rough going, but you're able to at least push some stuff through and use the 3 bodies to at least... Some of you kind of like hold it up as the other parts start digging through and start moving, and you're getting enough space so you can at least open up the 2 doors and get into the cellar. But due to those rolls, only one person can go down the cellar while the other two have to hold the doors open to make sure it doesn't collapse on and lock you inside. So if...
I'm going down.
Okay, so the other two are going to have to hold. So, using those checks, you guys are going to stay holding up into the doors. As you're going down, lights are few and thin. You got mostly your dark vision to rely on. Mostly you've been down here. This is mostly where your father has kept old forging tools that he has broken or has upgraded once upon a time, and now this is his older stuff. And some things that he has kept that under certain similar circumstances where he made something for someone and the person backed out.
How big is the cellar?
The cellar is roughly about 20 by 30. Not too big.
I cast Detect Magic.
Okay. As you can detect magic, you only find one thing. And it is on the opposite side. It is actually kind of under some piles of paperwork, but you're able to immediately notice that there is a pinging object with very powerful magic on the opposite side of the room.
Given my track record thus far, I cross the room carefully, looking for things to fall on me. I move the stuff on the desk carefully to find what is underneath it.
Okay. Just give me a dexterity check just to make sure you're not going to, like, trip over anything or set anything off that he would have laying around.
Good God, that's a 5.
Okay. Through some movement, you have to move around certain things, and you accidentally kind of trip over some spots. So you got to kind of lean up at certain spots, and you find out that your father does not really do a good job of cleaning up this place. So you got to kind of take your time, spend about 20 minutes just to get only 30 feet closer to the thing. Having the others have to hold it up even longer. But you're able to get over to his desk. It's dirty, it's dusty. He hasn't been down here some time. You assume it only got dirtier once the roof collapsed and dropped down all the dust down further. As you're able to move some of the paperwork and stuff out of the way, you find yourself with what looks like a pretty large greatsword. As you actually look at it, even with the dust on it, it seems to have a natural glow to it. But only for the blade itself, not for the guard or for the handle. The blade itself has some kind of, almost kind of like a reflective surface to it. The guard itself is a U-shaped large guard, and it has a ball end to it with a leather wrapping and very intricate. It's something too over the top compared to what your father usually does, who always does top-notch stuff, but this isn't like any more than what he does, but it is enchanted. But at first glance, you can't really tell exactly what makes its enchanted properties. There's no writing on it, no indications, no...
Did not think to ask my mother, so I will find out.
Okay.
And I will make my way very carefully back out of the cellar.
Do you have a strength score of at least 13?
Did you find it yet?
Yes.
Okay, you do? Okay.
Yes, it's 16.
Okay, cool. I was going to say it at least a 13 to build. You were able to find the blade, and as you start making your way out, you get out just in time as they're just kind of like, all right. And you got to kind of like squeeze through as they're just like holding up so much, and you're able to get it out as they just like, at that last moment they got let go, and you got to quick like roll out as drops down. And last opportunity to get down to the cell until they move the rubble, but you're able to retrieve the blade. This blade, great sword, but definitely the width of a long sword, but the length of a great sword. It's definitely meant to have a more of a balanced style of than just wielding all haphazardly. There's definitely whoever originally tried to order this definitely meant it for a specific purpose, not just to put on their shelves. It definitely looks like it's meant to be wielded a very specific way. Until you get a full inspection, you can't really understand why, but you can definitely tell with the balance of the blade, and maybe you kind of spin around a little bit. Even for its weight, your strength allows you to kind of move it as a normal person would be able to move a short sword. It does have some lightness to it, even though it is a great sword. It is balanced well, and if you're holding it right, it does have a fluid motion to it that almost moves kind of like water and air kind of cutting through each other.
Wow. Well, whoever couldn't pay for this lost out.
All right. So, what do the three of you do at this point?
Head back to
Head back to the ship.
Okay.
See how Dahlia's doing?
All right. As
She looked pretty upset.
you get back to the ship, you're immediately greeted by Arthur. It's like, oh, good, you're all alive. She didn't really give us too much information. She just said that everybody was fine, but she just kind of just went off on that. Wait. She said everyone is fine. You're missing somebody. Where's...
Yeah, we got us a hostage situation. He volunteered to get my people back.
Do I need
So
to
we
set
got
the
some jobs
sails?
to
Who
do.
are we going to kill?
We got some place to go that I ain't sure the ship can go.
Well, I mean,
But
we can
that's
fly.
more-
But we can go anywhere.
It ain't in this plane. Don't think we're quite outfitted for that.
Arthur's tiny little human brain just exploded.
I know how you feel, Arthur. Just kind of clapping.
You can kind of see him like kicking rocks. He's like, you know, we just got this great ships and enchanted and everything like that. Now they want to go to different planes. We can't do that shit. It's all stupid. We can't do this. I can't take this anymore.
We are going to be back as soon as we humanly or any otherly can. But we got a job to do.
All right.
And
Well, the
I
three of them
am
are
not
down
the
that
person
way.
to ask. I am not the person to ask it. 3?
Yeah, the three of them. Dahlia, Silic, and the other one.
Oh, she called him already.
Lick's
Alright.
here. Okay. That's good. She talked to him.
Well, thank you for your patience, Arthur. I'm not sure if we're going anywhere just yet, but that is not my department.
Oh,
But
all
thank
right.
you.
All right.
Everything.
As you're like starting to walk away, he's like, you can hear some of the critics like, "What do you want us to do?" Well, clean it again. Don't be standing around doing nothing.
As
Yeah,
we're
right.
walking, I want to kind of hang back and just turn to Gaiju and say, I know we didn't want to tell Dahlia the full scope of what we were dealing with back then, but I think it's time she knows the details. I think she should know so we can avoid it.
Probably for the best.
Be so pissed at us.
What is she
But if
not?
it keeps her alive.
And I'd say this is about
Your
only
friendly neighborhood paladin is thinking but not saying. Honesty's always best.
Yeah. And I'd say this is about like 20 minutes after Silic and Nyx arrived, and you guys were talking amongst yourself. So it's not too much far behind that. So
Go and find Dahlia.
I was gonna say, are we still probably arguing on the deck about how to do this, or
well,
have
you
we
guys
just
originally
moved the
went down.
argument to
You
another
went down
room?
to a lower level. You guys went down to a lower level. I didn't know if you guys went to a room or anything like that, but you guys just went to a lower level.
Probably the teleportation room, because I believe
I believe you
Hades also
mentioned
had books in there. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, that's true.
as you're walking down, unless for some reason the door is closed, you definitely hear a commotion. Not like yelling at each other, but a loud talking between three parties of familiar voices in the teleportation room.
You just got engaged. She's not coming with us to the Shadowfell. No offense, Nyx, but I don't think this is a good idea.
I'm not staying here.
Well, someone's gonna watch the ship. Just do that.
My responsibility is not to watch the ship.
Have you ever been to the Shadowfell?
Have you?
Kind of.
Kind of. What's kind of? As Silic just looks.
Called astral projection. Long story short, I do not want to put anyone else at risk that doesn't need to be put at risk.
I love her.
She just
We
like
know.
looks at you. I'm going.
I look at Silic like, control your fiance.
Yeah, right.
He just looks like he's like, I'm not getting involved. She wants to go, she's gonna go.
This is something I reached out to Silic. Nyx, you're gonna be a sister-in-law, so I don't want to make things terrible, but this is a
And I'm
serious
gonna be a
situation.
sister-in-law, so that way I'm gonna make sure that you're alright.
How about you be alright on the ship and just watch over everything? I'm not putting any more people in danger. Period. End of story.
Do we arrive at this point?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
We're gonna walk in, and I guess congratulations are in order.
Thank you! Thank you!
I go and slap Silic on the shoulder.
At least someone says something.
But I do agree with Dahlia.
We will come back and pop champagne when people aren't potentially dying. I promise.
You're gonna have to convince her. Persuasion check, please.
Again.
She's committed to
I'm
going.
saying nothing. She's an adult who can make her own choices.
Ooh, you're so gosh darn lucky I keep rolling these 18s tonight, because that's a 27.
Holy
Again.
fuck. Okay. She looks at you. Fine. Fine. But I swear to fucking God, if he doesn't come back intact, I'm gonna kill you.
Look, he's the chauffeur, okay? Daemoes wants nothing to do with him. He hates him. Look at him. There's nothing to
If
worry
you don't come
about.
back intact, there ain't gonna be much left of the rest of us either. So,
Look at him. He has anxiety.
You know, he very much has the, like, I don't want to go back there. I don't want to be back there, but apparently I have to be back there. And now I don't have, like, my support to be there. Kind of thing like that. He's like,
also,
alright,
Zarrus
fine.
is kind of watching a tennis match at all of this and has not met Nyx before.
Oh, yeah. Y'all have not met her before.
During the whole commotion,
Good first impression.
yeah. During the whole commotion, you're able to register a very heated sea elf that is currently not having favor with your drow tiefling, and through the discussion, she doesn't even realize that there's people here that she has not met yet. Until it eventually calms down. Fine. Hello everyone, I'm Nyx, and apparently I'm not fucking going with you. Nice to meet you. And then she starts walking off past the group.
I love her
Nice to
so
meet
much.
you. You seem awesome.
Congratulations again.
Thank you. Gonna go fucking hang on the ship and watch over the ship, I guess.
Talk with her when we get back.
I'm
And
just
get to
saying,
know
so
her.
like she's a sea elf, so it makes sense if we're in the ocean that she might as well stay here anyway. It's a double win.
Do you know what a sea elf does? We don't, like, control water, right?
But you're good if something happens in water. Remember that one time with the Kraken? That was very helpful.
He, like,
That
looks
was
at you.
Kraken?
I did very little.
All right. Y'all have way too many stories. We got more to make. That means we need to get Hades.
Fine. Well, like I mentioned, if you guys have an agreement with a grandfather, he'll honor the agreement. If his agreement is to relinquish Apollo when the process is complete, he will honor that unless for some reason you cheat him out. If you tell him before you go there that all this will be above board and to make sure that no harm is done, he'll probably ask for something in return, but if he agrees, no harm will come upon any of us. I would just like to
Does
say...
this mean that I can leave? That's what I'm worried about. I don't want this to be a trap for me or anybody.
I'll look at Sophinia.
Whatever he offers, whatever he threatens, don't rise up to him. Walk away.
I might need a gag.
Silik walks up to Dahlia. It doesn't like whisper so much that the rest of you can't hear, but he just looks at you. Like I said, you can't kill him there. But I gave you something you can at least do to put him down. If it comes down to that, just use that. Now we just gotta run. So keep him down long enough that he'll be out for a couple hours. But
That's
only
what I was gonna use
when it comes down to it.
So
But it won't kill him. It'll just put him asleep for a little bit. Now, if it was used here, I assume it'd have more severe consequences, but just be careful. It works on anyone in the Daemoes clan, including us.
This sounds like a mighty interesting thing that we should all know about.
I assume she probably, in the time of going on board to down to this room, she would have grabbed it because it was her mind immediately went to it. But she fishes out the I'll have to remember the specific name. Where is it? Because I looked at it. The Radiant Ambassador,
Oh,
and it's
that's
a
nice
silver
name.
dagger. Yeah, it's a silver dagger that Scylla gave to her 10 years ago.
Out of
And
character,
almost-
I remember this.
Under normal
In
circumstances,
character, I was not there.
most people of the Shadowfell that are born and raised there have a tendency to not be a big fan of silver. Won't kill them, but it can at least do some damage. In his case, it'll put him to sleep as long as the dagger's within him. It'll be more harmful to us if it's used against one of us, so you're gonna have to be careful you don't let him know.
I don't really want to do any sort of killing or maiming. I just want Hades back, and I just want us to go back to doing what we were doing before.
Well,
I hear that.
I'm the last one who wants to go there, but the deal was made. And the deal has to be honored. We're gonna have to follow through, and do what needs to be done. If he said he wasn't going to lay a hair on Hades, then he's fine.
I wasn't going to lay a hair on them until we get there.
Well,
I
at least
remember
that
right.
covers the next 2 days. Or a day and whatever time we got left.
Well, there's one more thing you should know, Dahlia.
Yeah, what do you mean?
I don't know if you remember. It's been a long time for you. But when Gaju was kind of knocked out, how we kind of saw the future a little bit, and I disappeared, and we came back, and you were very angry with us for not telling you everything, but there were some things that we really didn't want to ever talk about or see again. And
Is this the one where I died?
your grandfather killed you. We can't let that happen.
Did it look like this? She just gestures to like everyone. Did we look like this? Are you saying if we go?
It was hard to tell where it was. You were chained up. DM, quick question. Do they look... Because during that, they looked older. Do they look around that age right now?
No. And to put it in
Important
perspective, they don't
conversation.
look... Yes, they do look older, but it's due to Dahlia's race. She looks younger than she actually is. In this case, at that time, she looks like more of like a mid-age adult instead of a young adult. Still with plenty of youth, but there's clearly a 10 to 20 year physical age gap that is in there.
Okay.
Horn's a little bit
You
bigger.
looked older, and I know 10 years has gone by. You don't look quite the same, but if this is what leads to that, we can't let him get his hands on you.
I have to go. It's part of the deal.
You can go, just don't take any deal he says. I don't care which one of us it is, just don't take any deal.
She's not gonna respond, and you can see her expression kind of harden because it may be on her mind. We should get cleaned up for dinner. She kind of stiffens up and tries to walk out.
I'll pat Zephinia on the shoulder and then follow Dahlia out.
Okay. At this point, a commotion's happening in the main deck.
Is it fucking Nyx?
They're
Oh,
having a
shit.
fight.
At this point, almost in tandem, at the same time, it's synchronized. Both Arthur and Nyx yells back, you guys should get up here.
Oh, hell, now what? I go pounding up the stairs.
Same.
I let them handle it.
As captain, I have to go, so...
Okay. So, for the people to go up there, immediately people are set back as you have an intruder on the ship. As you see a orangish tiefling, lizard-colored skin. Pretty short horns, but very well distinguished. Kind of standing there, arm gracefully behind his back with a cloak covered over it and just leaning up against the cane. Greetings. I'm looking for Dahlia. Would she be on the
Who's
ship?
asking?
What's your business?
I have come in advance for Lord Daemoes.
He has 2 days left.
As he
He can wait.
immediately just taps on the cane, and he immediately just summons a book in his hand as he pulls it up. Well, as he just lets the cane levitate and starts going through pages. Our Lord has become very busy of late, and sudden interruptions have taken advance. He requests your presence more urgently than anticipated.
Oh, he's breaking his deal? No, I think he should let Hades go.
Well, I'm not here to change deals already made, but I am allowed to speak further deals on his behalf. As he just immediately summons a quill in his hand, and he kind of dabs up against a little bit of a blood on the side. And if there's any other agreements you might have to hasten this, I am willing to speak as the voice of my lord.
You can go back to him and tell him that there will be no further changes to deals. 2 days, no harm to Apollo, we will be there.
Just
I don't give a damn if he's
disappears
busy.
Disappears the ink and quill. Closes up the book, and then just disappears in his hands. Leans back up against the cane and repositions his arm behind. And of the grandsire, is she on the ship?
You're the mouthpiece for him.
Stare.
Just staring at him.
We're the mouthpiece for her. You can talk to us.
Let's see what Slick does, because he's going to be listening. Whew. At this point, immediately hearing a familiar voice, Slick starts walking up behind you. Immediately he walks up, noticing the voice, as this tiefling is just still leaning there, just being patient, as it looks like he has nothing but time on his hands. As he's still like, not the grandsire I was looking for, but you will do. What do you want? Hasten the deal. You're supposed to be involved as well. Do you have more or better manners than these ruffians that apparently are the voice of your sister?
And Cole was.
The uninvited one is talking about manners.
If they don't want her to come, I'm not going to make them. Very well. He just taps on the cane and just leans back up as he just kind of taps off against the wind as he starts making a portal very similar to what Daemoes did. I'll let my lord know as he starts walking through as the portal just disappears behind him.
You do that.
Nick just immediately looks, what the fuck?
I immediately go to the captain's cabin where Dolly is.
I'm gonna stay above ship and keep an eye that this jerk doesn't come back.
Still goes and talks to...
So, like, you told her what she's marrying into?
Well,
Did you?
he just like, he immediately like looks back at you. It's like, well, you know, I try to make sure that that part of my family isn't involved. This should not be happening. He just kind of
And
walks off
yet
with
it
her.
is. And this is why we do not keep secrets, people!
Nyx just hears, I don't know what the hell that was.
All right.
Amazing.
So, with it being very late at night, it's practically morning at this point, but the sun has not risen. Everybody kind of set off into their own things, locations. What are we doing?
I think a long rest is definitely in order, but Zephania is going to be on high alert and take first watch. At least to make sure, again, this guy doesn't come back and Daemoes doesn't try anything.
Gotcha.
Dira's going to take a few minutes. This is going to become a habit now. It's just sit up at the bow, look at the stars, whatever is available of the moon, just think about what they mean before going to bed.
Okay.
What's Dolly doing right now?
Reaction to kick rocks and cry tears.
Oh.
Yeah. I would say at some point she swiped. Okay, would there be a book about the Shadowfell in Apollo's, like the teleportation room?
I assume so.
I will say, like, while they were in there, she probably swiped it and is skimming through it at a desk in the captain's quarters.
Okay.
Trying to find, like, any vital information she can.
Okay, so going through it, you can give me either an intelligence check or just an investigation check, either one, depending on how it works for you, to go through the book and try to get as much information that seems viable to you.
14.
14. Going through the book, this book doesn't necessarily have, like, all the in-depth details of everything of, like, traveling through the Shadowfell, but it gives you the general information. It's like a book that has, like, different volumes of the different realms. This is one of the volumes that just does the Shadowfell itself. Also being called the Dark Dimension, the Shadowfell itself never has sun shone through the sky. Constantly covered with clouds of smoke, the Shadowfell is always in a 100% darkness. The Shadowfell is almost a complete match, minus a few different continental shifts from Averant itself. The waters themselves have a more swampy texture than natural liquid. Depending on the climate, they can also be complete ice. Half of the Shadowfell is nothing but straight cold, the other half is more swampy. The few pieces of information that you are able to relate to Daemoes doesn't have him explicitly named by name, but just what is considered the king of the Shadowfell. And is put as the one of the two immortal brothers. And that his castle, Castle Daemoes, has been there for 6,000 years. Since recorded time. So it could have been there longer. The castle itself dominates the whole southern region of the realm itself.
Does it have any information on Daemous's brother?
It does give a little bit of information that brings up a similar of what the other immortal is. And he's mentioned the two immortal brothers doesn't have like who they came from or anything like that. It just says that one is a devil, the other one's an angel.
Okay. Is he also in the Shadowfell?
No. Based off of what you can assume, based off context of what Silic told you and what you're reading through this, is the polar opposite of the Shadowfell is the Feywild. And the Feywild is home to many angels. Just like the Shadowfell is home to many devils. But take into account, Shadowfell is not hell. And the Feywild is not heaven.
Okay. I think to a certain point, exhaustion would kind of start to get to her, and it gets to a point where she's just thumbing over pages without actually looking at them, like her eyes have glazed over, but she like can't sleep yet. And she's gonna be doing that a little mindlessly.
Okay.
I would assume probably towards the end of that he'd be making his way into the room.
Okay.
Dahlia, what are you doing?
Seeing what I can find in the books. There's just anything to go off of that Silic doesn't know.
You assume that Silic will have more information than what most of these books have, since the books, again, are just general almanacs of general information that most people would know, that would know most of the realms, not like in-depth stuff.
True. He's just pissed at me right now because I told him his fiance couldn't come, so figure let him mellow on that.
I can't say that I blame him. He'll kind of walk over, like, just kneel down beside her and, like, take her, hands in his. Copper, for your thoughts.
Just watches him.
Come on, doll. Is my mic picking up?
Yeah.
I think I
Okay.
heard what you said. Repeat it again.
Copper, for your thoughts.
Yeah, I heard that.
What does this say? Wait. Do I need to wait?
Copper,
I thought
for,
it
your,
was-
copper
never
for
mind.
your thoughts.
Instead of
blanking.
penny for your thoughts.
Instead of penny for your thoughts, yeah.
Or a nickel for your pickle.
Oh, is this like a what are you thinking? Is that basically
Yeah.
what that
Yeah,
means?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
They say it in
What's
the
on your
movies,
mind?
and then someone starts talking. I don't know.
That's fair.
Okay, that was my bad. That was me. I mean, just gestures to like everything. What's not on my mind right now? There's whole town got burnt to the ground because of this asshole. And I don't know how we're gonna get Hades back and get us all out in one piece. So maybe I have to make some hard decisions.
Like what? Giving yourself up?
If it means everyone can leave, and be safe and be left alone, maybe. You can tell, like, the moment she says that she hates it.
Talia, I think your grandfather getting his hands on you could quite literally mean the end of the world. If power is what he seeks, if freedom from the Shadowfell is what he seeks, and he can get that through you, then it's not worth it. And I think I can at least speak for myself in saying that I would rather get left behind than you to deal with that fate.
That's not an option at all.
And neither is you giving yourself up. It's not. I will not accept it.
And you're not going to think about trading yourself because, one, I don't even know if that's going to work, and two, no. This is my burden, my issue that I will deal with. And if I can prevent anyone else from getting hurt, I will do that. Especially friends.
You can't control your grandfather or what decisions he'll make, but you can choose what to do for yourself, for your friends. Even if that means letting them make decisions for what will happen.
I can't do that. I can't. I can't. I didn't ask for this, I didn't want this, but it's my burden to bear, and I have to figure out the solution. And no one else is going to suffer.
It's not your burden to bear alone, though, love. You have all of us here, and you know Hades would be saying the exact same thing. So don't shut us out.
All of us are coming back from the Shadowfell.
And we'll do
And if
our
that
best
is not
to
an
make that
option,
possible.
then you all will come back from the Shadowfell.
I can't and won't promise that. You know that. I will not live a life without you.
I don't want you to, but you may have to. She pulls her hands away and sits up. I can't hurt anyone else, and I can't hurt you, especially. I can't hurt you, especially.
I don't think you ever could.
Well, we have 2 more days to think of one more day to think of a plan. Let's just focus on that for now. That's our goal.
Alright.
And to kind of pivot the subject, she picks up this Hades, the sending stone to Hades that's sitting on the desk. That she totally didn't just use like 30 minutes ago. And speak through it and say, checking in?
You can't respond at this time.
Oh no.
Hades? Don't do that! I can't get a response. I'm gonna cast Sending this time specifically, to Hades.
Just want to see something.
Checking in. Are you there? There's a 5% chance if it's between planes that it will not
correct.
send.
I just wanted to see something.
Okay.
Okay. All right. You do receive the message. You currently are being treated well, but recently there was some trouble that you've noticed.
I am here, and all's well enough. They don't seem very happy for some reason. I don't know what happened, but
how many of these can I burn? Well,
It's level 3.
I only have one left to burn because I haven't long rested since our battle, and that was my last. Wait, level 3. Oh, I lied. I have 2 more to burn. Okay.
Freaking liar.
Spell slots will start looking the same to me. I'll fire off a message back and just be like, what do you mean, what's going on? Your stone's not working?
They've taken it from you.
well, they have taken that item from me. They don't want me to communicate with people outside of here, I suppose.
Works. I'll fire my last spell slot I have for this message. I will check in soon in the morning. Well, it's already the morning. Scratch that part up. I will check in soon. Just don't die. Or at least get your stone back before. We need to keep in touch.
I don't think that's going to be a possibility. They seem to have it and aren't willing to give things back.
In a more illustrated version, they have taken your books as well. Basically anything you can use to cast magic.
What's with these people misguiding of what I can do with casting? That's a damn storybook, you fools. Freaking morons.
Drop the book!
Like they don't
read
know
the book, become
sorcerer.
educated, you fools.
Okay.
She just looks at Gaiju and just says, he's fine. But maybe we should go sooner? They're taking his things. I can't communicate with him through the stone anymore.
All of us at least need a long rest.
What is Dira and Zephania doing at this moment?
I'm
After
still.
a few minutes of looking at the stars, Dira is going to look at her sword, look around, and just go
And just pass out. Got it.
in her cabin. Yep, she's done.
Okay.
Zephania's gonna find Arthur and just tell him, I know you wanted to go with, but what would be a big help is to keep watch. Can you and some of the others keep watch tonight? Make sure that person doesn't come back.
The guy who teleported here?
Yes.
Kalik looks at you confused. I sure? I'll do what I can.
Just come get us if you see anything amiss.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Sure.
She's gonna like stare at him for a moment, and you can handle this, right?
Yeah, I got it. I got it. This magic is fucking weird. I don't like it. People popping
You
in
don't
all
have
over
to
the
like
place.
it. You just have to let us know.
All right.
Then she'll head on to sleep.
Okay. All right. Between you two going to sleep, then back over to Gaju and Dahlia.
I guess we
Get
need to
some
sleep.
rest.
Rest. Okay. Including Apollo, you all can hit your long rest button.
Oh, thank goodness.
I missed having hit points.
Right? I shouldn't say that. I was doing okay in that regard, but
Minus the fact of Gotcha being able to get up a little early, the rest of you would probably get up closer to noon if you wanted to get your full long rest in. Gotcha, if you want to get up early and do something, you absolutely can, roughly about 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Which would be about mostly sunrise at this point.
Okay. I'm definitely gonna get up. Is there any sign of Silic on the deck?
Yeah. Looks like him and Nyx have not gotten much sleep. They probably have gotten some sleep, but they've gotten up before you. And they are looking like they're having a heated conversation at the head of the ship itself.
Oh man. Sorry, Silic.
It's not loud. It's not like they're trying to cause commotion, but they are arguing about something.
Okay. In that case, I will come back. I would like to go down to Tenzin's room.
Okay.
And knock on the door.
Okay.
See
Give me a
if he's
second.
awake.
Hang on. Can kind of hear I'm kind of like
Damn.
putting on the overcoat and stuff like that. 1 second. Oh, Captain. What can I do for you?
I apologize to wake you.
Oh, I've been up for some time. No worries.
Night owl, are we?
No, I'll be honest. I didn't even know you guys were back. I went to sleep quite early.
I see. Do you mind if I come in?
Oh, absolutely. As he opens up the door all the way.
Things have grown a bit complicated.
Seems to be very common on the ship, but go on.
I don't even know how to begin to explain everything, but maybe I'll talk about something else then.
Okay. Is there something wrong?
In this instance, no. As you already know, I've known your daughter for a long time. And hopefully it will continue that way after whatever happens the next few days. I guess what I'm saying is I would like to ask Dahlia to marry me. And I would love your approval.
He doesn't look in shock. I mean, he's been on the ship for 10 years.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you're coming to me, but it doesn't have to be that way. Her life is her own, and you are absolutely perfect for her. And there's no reason why I would have any reason to say no. If you want my blessing, you have it, but you do not need it.
No, I appreciate that, but alas, I am a man of tradition. When I can afford it.
That is completely understandable, and that is a mighty fine trait to have. If it is truly my blessing that you want, the blessing you have, in every sense of the word. Hang on one second. He's like, 1 second. As he goes through like a box of old stuff. He starts going through some stuff, and he finds like an old, what used to be like an old, like kind of like a brooch that used to belong to Daphne that he kept to himself. I'm sure he already got something, but he passes over to you. I've been hanging on to this for a while, and it's something that you can give to her if you'd like. Just kind of passes over to you.
What does it kind of look like?
It's a mixture of like her colors. The difference is that she had like purples and blues instead of her it was like just straight purples. So it's kind of similar to Dahlia's colors, but a little bit more blues to it. But it's primarily purple, and it has kind of like a. It has like the old-fashioned, kind of like an old 30s butterfly kind of style to it.
Okay. Well, I can certainly give this to her. I do have a ring picked out, though it's not currently in my possession.
That's all right. But I mean, I appreciate everything you've all done with letting me be on the ship, and it speaks volumes of you and speaks volumes of both of you together, and I have no reason to think that this should not happen. I mean,
I appreciate that. I've spent most of my life without my father, and it's always meant a lot to me that Dahlia continues to have that time with you, and that you've had the chance to spend that time with her. It's all I could want for her, really.
And that's all I want from her, for her to be happy, and I want to see the moments of her being happy. If there are moments that I can't spend with her, as long as I can see them happen, that's all that I want. She's the last thing I got in this world, and I know that you will continue to make her happy, and in process, that'll make me happy.
I appreciate it. Thank you. And I'll kind of pocket the brooch for now. I won't keep you, but I'm sure you'll hear the news soon enough.
Can't wait. As he just kind of, before he leaves, he just immediately comes by and just immediately gives you a big hug.
I give him a big hug back. But, like, not too hard because I don't want to hurt him.
Fair enough. He just lightly gestures to you and whispers, not too quiet, but just as a low point. I know it hasn't happened yet, but welcome to the family.
Thank you. His eyes actually do kind of tear up a little, but he blinks it away, gives Tenzin a final nod, and then slowly departs and heads back up to the deck, where he hopes Silic and Nyx are done having their argument, but if they are still arguing, he will just
They're done.
awkwardly go stand somewhere else.
They're done. He's like leaning up
Okay.
against the same part, and she's kind of like sitting up at the actual, like, she's sitting up on one of the rails while he's leaning up against one, and they're just kind of now just talking regular.
Okay. I'll slowly approach them.
Okay.
Is now a good time?
I guess it depends on for what. I guess any time is a good time. Depends on the conversation.
I couldn't help but overhear some kind of noise earlier, so I just wanted to make
Oh.
sure I wasn't interrupting.
No, you're fine. We just a lot of things that obviously brought up of late. We are just trying to figure out how we're going to approach them. I'm sure that's what you want to talk about, or at least something of the similarity.
Frankly, I'm still processing it all.
It's been
Hoping
15
for
years
the
for me, and I'm
best,
still
but-
processing it.
I'm hoping for the best, but expecting the worst. Last night, they seems to have taken Hades as stones.
Mm-hmm.
So
They're making
we
sure he
can only
can't cast
contact
magic. They don't want
Yeah.
him to contact. I wouldn't be worried. They're just making sure that they are. I guess the best way to put it is giving us consequences for not working with. What do I call them? Working with Ermin.
Omen. Who's that?
He is his advisor. He's been his advisor for 1,000 years. And out of most people that he's with, he's one of the nicer ones, but he's very direct. But he's kind of his right hand, as much as a wizard can be a right hand.
That actually reminds me. Does Daemoes have any other advisors or
He's got a lot of them.
any that are of slight drow heritage?
No. Anybody that has any kind of political affiliation with him, they're pretty traditional tiefling, if not full devil.
Sure.
There's only a couple that are similar, as he points to you and him. And even then, they're like a fifth of another race. I mean, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
realistically, Aramin is one of the few, even though he's one of the most trusted advisors, he's one of the few that has at least some human blood in him. I think the only reason why he has such a respect is because he's been serving for so long. But no
Okay.
drow.
I only ask because of the previous time I had an experience with Daemoes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the conversation listening to the so the drow, you don't know who this person is?
I never fully saw their face. He was trying very hard to convince me to, I think, serve Daemoes or even Malik, but I mean, it was 10 years ago.
Malik is a tough one. I don't know how Malik has anything to do with it, but as far as using others to try to convince to servitude, it's not his first time doing that, but having a drow involved, especially if it's. Did you mention if the drow's tiefling or if it's just a drow?
Yes.
Okay.
A drow tiefling.
Okay. Especially a drow tiefling. I mean, obviously Dahlia, but how many other drow tieflings have you seen in your lifetime? It's quite
Just
rare.
that one.
I mean, it's rare breeds, and same thing for me being a sea elf tiefling. I mean, you don't see another one. To find another drow tiefling is rare. Maybe. No, that can't be right. The only thing I can think of is another relation. Maybe. I don't know. I can't imagine that our mother would have had another child somewhere. But.
What about her father? Daphne's father, or
Daphne's father is Deimos. Daemoes.
Oh, okay. Right. I'm blanking now.
Yeah, no, you're good. So to remind you, Daphne is full traditional tiefling.
Okay.
And then Tenzin is a drow.
Okay.
And then just the same way that it is for Silic, he gets his tiefling from Daphne, but he gets a sea elf from...
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so Daphne is the last one in the Daemoes line that is pure blood. After that, she is, quote unquote, diluted the bloodline by having children with non-tieflings. It is not at all traditional in the Daemoes line. If anything, you can assume that it is actually forbidden. To find someone in servitude that is a drow tiefling that is definitely not Dahlia is definitely something that comes out as an anomaly. Silic responds and just says, whatever you saw, I mean, if it was true, I can't explain it. I mean, maybe it was someone who's trying to look like a drow but wasn't a drow, but I don't know what that would solve by doing that.
Is there any way I could do like a history check on those memories of mine?
Sure, you can give me a history check.
See if I remember anything more about him.
Sure. Yeah, go for it.
That is a 10.
Okay. I mean, you don't really find much details. You remember that as the conversation got more heated in that future moment, the non-named person slowly started showing off more stuff. At first, if you remember, they didn't even show off that they had horns or tail. They just looked like a drow in a cloak. Then they eventually showed off that they had horns, and they eventually showed off they had tail. Then they eventually showed off that they had hooves. But they didn't show off any other physical features other than that. Give me just an insight check on just like specifically that part of the memory. There's only one shot you can get for this.
14.
14.
Oh, hold
Okay.
on. Okay.
Focusing just on that, and this will be the curve from now on for that. As far as that specific thing, you think about it, take a few things away, switch the gender, and the assailant is Dahlia. Something about it looks exactly like Dahlia, but a younger male version of Dahlia. And obviously with hooves. But same horns, same coloration, same colored hair. But that's all you can really figure out.
I guess I will think about that some more
Okay.
while we're dealing with this.
I mean, it's definitely a confusing one. I mean, I'll make sure when you go over there, keep my eyes out in case if there's any other ones like us over there. They'll stand out like a sore thumb, but I'll make sure I keep my eye out.
Yeah.
That being said, before you depart, take advantage of the fact that they're all asleep, especially my sister. We've discussed against wishes of her, better or not, Nyx is coming.
Unfortunately, I have to agree with that.
I can't guarantee that there's nothing that's going to happen here. You got enough men that can take care of the ship. But I'd rather have Nyx with me than not.
Understandable. Welcome to the family, Nyx.
I appreciate it. He kind of comes by you and he like leans up by you and he just kind of takes you to the side for a second. Not to like separate you from Nyx too much, but to kind of tell you something. The blade that gave Dahlia. There's a reason why it works on our grandfather, but is more dangerous to us. I gotta make sure it's only used on him. If for some reason it gets used on us, well, let's just say we lose all of our demonic lineage if we get stabbed with it. Any powers that we've had, any of that inner soul is gone. Whatever she does with it, she needs to make sure that it is used on him and nothing else. It was originally his blade, and he used it to drain energy from other devils. That's how he became as powerful as he is. But yeah, just make sure if she doesn't use it, she at least keeps it on her.
I'll do my best. She had it on her last night, so.
Okay. Well, looks at the rest of the ship. I don't know what the plans are for the day, but I don't see any reason for us to hold out any longer. I don't know if you guys are waiting on anything. But
To be honest, I was just being stubborn against that one.
Stubborn. That is definitely a new
And
trait for you.
because- Not.
Well,
The matter is, I don't want Daemoes thinking that he can go changing any of his deals.
well, remember that if we want to at least add some stuff to the deal ourselves, we should probably take advantage of negotiation. But I'll leave that up to you.
Fair enough. I think Dahlia wants to get it over with.
So do I. Alright, well...
Silik,
Hmm?
can I ask you one favor?
Anything.
Get her out. At all costs.
Trust me, after this one, it'll be my priority. No offense,
Good.
but if shit goes down on the fan, I'm taking
Leave
those
me.
two out. That's my intention. If I can get you out, I'll get you out. But if it's only those two, take no offense. They come first in my
None
heart.
taken at all. Besides, can't really have a future brother-in-law if my future wife's not around.
That is very, very true. We definitely need to make sure it works then. Definitely need to make sure it works then.
Good.
All right.
To surviving this day.
To surviving the day.
And I'll kind of do a head nod to both of them and then start making my way back to
They head nod back.
the room.
All right. As you head back to the room, is there anything else you want to do until they wake up?
No.
As the next few hours passed, it gets to midday as everybody wakes up from the long rest. Midday coming through, everybody is refreshed, healed, spell slots returned, and sun is at full rise. Town is now calmed down, the smog has limited itself, still the smell in the air, but the sound of busy bees moving around the town to at least start being productive and at least put money to work is in the air. What would we all like to do at the beginning of this stretch?
Convene around the breakfast table and plan.
Okay.
Just before that, I am actually going to pop down to the smithy and see if Cindy is there.
Cindy is almost always there, so yeah, she will be there. Yep.
And I am going to take my new sword with me.
Ooh, as she looks at it, it's like, whoa, what we got here?
Well, I was hoping you could tell me that. Usually, it's Apollo that identifies our enchantments for us, but he ain't around, so...
Oh, I heard
Just
about
wonder if
that.
you could
Well, let's...
tell me what this is meant to do.
Oh, Jesus, this thing. All right. Just drops it right on the table as she just kind of...
Here.
All right, hang on. As she kind of goes back and she grabs like her glasses and clasps it down a few times. She looks at it as like one of them starts to glow and kind of creates like this little blue light that's kind of like hovering over it. She's like puts it like on this little tray table that spins it around that she's like checking all the sides. Huh, interesting blade. I'd like to actually see the man who made this thing. It's quite unique. It's actually very specific.
The forging is my daddy. The forging is my daddy's work.
Oh,
Not but the enchantment that had to be outsourced. That ain't something we specialize in.
the enchantment does look familiar, but the blade itself is miraculous. Your dad does a great job. She closes it up. Unlocks it. Well,
I got a lot to live up to.
I'm able to figure out a couple functions of it. I guess it's basically a magical compass. If you got some, if you're tracking some kind of magic in the area, the sword will be able to detect where it is. Out of that, it seems to adapt to whatever kind of creature you're fighting. Long story short, what the blade does is it has the ability to detect magic on it. And then the sword itself, if you attack a creature and the creature has vulnerabilities, the blade now turns into a specific properties that vulnerability is. It is a +3 magical item.
Holy moly. Okay.
So yeah, it's like a magical compass and adapts to the creature you're fighting.
Well, apparently somebody ordered this and couldn't pay up, so they're
Well,
lost, I suppose.
Good find for you. As she kind of like listen up. There you go. That's a little heavy.
Thank you. Thank you. That's all right.
Her dump stat is strength. She can't lift that thing up.
Yeah.
It does require you to be attuned, much like many magical items I give you guys now.
That's all right. A, I have a slot left, and B, I'm not going to need my average soldier sword anymore. So.
Oh, and I'm sorry. The other property of it, other than the fact that it requires a 13 strength, while wielding it, your strength and strength saving throws are advantage.
Yes. All right. Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm. But obviously, it has to be in your hand for that to work.
Well, yes.
All right. As everybody heads over, unless you had anything left.
Nope. Heading up to galley.
Okay. As
I
everybody.
do have one thing
Sure.
that Dira reminded me. Can Cindy fix my sword?
Actually, I can just give you mine. You're still using Everett Soldier Sword, right?
If I'm going down and I see you, yeah, that would be amazing. Are you sure?
Absolutely.
I give her a really tight hug because I'm very excited.
I was gonna say, Dira has plenty of swords. I think she can.
I have swords coming out. Yeah, I mean, I have one that's been made into armor now. I had one that's been made into armor now.
I'm gonna re-equip it. It's gonna work. So happy.
Poor all Amanda's characters always break blades. It's always bladed weapons.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm going to need the other one at some point to equip, but yes, I'm giving you that.
I'll have that before next
Thank
session
you.
for you. All right, as you all make your way, and this includes Silic and Nyx, to the actual dining area, food is prepared. A dish of which is a rice and egg bowl with different kind of veggies and protein mixed in. Plenty of fresh food to be had, and fresh tea that is available. As this area is currently unoccupied, as the crew is kind of expecting you guys to have a powwow, and this spot's kind of available if you'd have privacy at this point. Everybody's sitting around, grabbing some food, and just waiting for somebody to speak.
Thank you.
So what if we leave today?
Yesterday.
Sorry, dear.
No, that's perfect. She's just.
As Silic just has his mouth just puffed up with food, he's like, "You're here, yeah."
Yeah.
You had something to say.
I just want to thank y'all for yesterday, but this is the subject on the table now, and I agree with you.
We can get Apollo back faster. Hades back
I
faster.
don't know what else we got planned to do to get ready.
So it just takes a big gulp.
Can we get ready?
Like I was mentioning to Gaju earlier, if we want to get there earlier, we should take advantage of negotiation to make sure we get what we want, especially a harm-free time being there and a time of when we can return. They want us there earlier, we got to make sure that we get something responsive self. That being said, as nice as Aramin is, he only speaks to one person at a time. So whether that's you, Gaju, or me, or Dahlia, we need to pick who is going to be the voice to speak to him.
I mean,
Don't look at me.
it would make sense, right?
It's up to you. I can do it if you want, but if you want to do it, it looks better for your credit.
If that's what you want to do.
I mean, might as well. Okay, what do I do? Do I cast sending? Is there a way to contact him otherwise?
You're able to contact Apollo?
Oh, shit, Apollo? I thought we were talking about somebody else. Oh my gosh.
No,
Wait.
he's like, if you contact Apollo, he's probably with Apollo. Just let him know to return and that we have a deal for him.
If he didn't take his damn sending stone. Okay, I cast sending.
Okay.
To Hades.
Okay, Hades, you're able to get the signal.
What's the guy's name?
His name is Aramin. So Aeramon. Aramin.
Okay, cast sending to Hades. Checking in. Are you alive? Are they treating you well? Is Aramin right next to you by chance?
He's in the vicinity with you. You're actually, I'd say at this point, you're actually having like tea with him. At this point, he's giving you good company.
Yes, I'm doing
Tea and
well.
chess.
Yes, I'm doing well, and yeah, he actually is here. I'm up one game on chess to him currently, but let's see how that goes in the next one.
Castle all the
It's
time.
not doing very well this game. I got a little overconfident with my rook and knight.
Oh, my chess nerd is just coming out right now. I love it.
Fire one more back and just say, tell him we're ready to meet now.
I will let him know, and that is in my favor, because then I won't lose the game. And I will pass the message on to him of like, oh, I believe they wish to speak with you back, if possible.
Without much delay, immediately a couple minutes later, you immediately hear back at the top, Captain, the tiefling's back.
Send him over.
All right. As one of the crew gestures him down, moves him away, as they immediately move over on the curtains that leads over into the mess hall, as you see the previous night's about burnt orange tiefling walk in with his calm gesture and his cane moving forward. So I believe we had decided to converse. I was ready to checkmate your friend, but I'm willing to put the game on hold.
And we're willing to come early. If you're willing to make some adjustments.
Adjustments can be had. Give me 1 second. As he just immediately opens up and summons his book and summons a quill in his hand. What are your demands?
Great. Fuck. Psychic whispers everyone in the room. What are
Jesus
the demands?
Christ.
I didn't think it through! I just got too excited.
Shocked, I tell you.
We get there, no strings attached. Hades is let go.
And then you hear a whisper from Stillick.
That's already the deal, though.
No, it's not.
What?
No,
What's
the deal is that you guys go there, and Hades will be let go. There is no time of when he'll be let go. You're not specifying the time of when he'll be let go. Silic mentions in there, harm-free. No combat to be had.
That too.
Time frame of when we will be free to leave.
You will be able to leave when you wish.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, why did I put myself in this situation? I don't like making life-altering decisions.
I'm gonna say
D&D.
Silic. Do you make it obvious that you're kind of like a little bit befuddled by this?
I'm putting on a poker face if I'm contemplating exactly how I want to phrase this, because I am, but I'm also like, fuck.
Okay. Silic's gonna say.
You're very helpfully thinks what they said.
Silic's like, do you want me to do it?
You know what? Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
So
but should we specify everyone goes free in 2 days' time?
2 days. All right. Slick stands up. All right. To come in early, specifications of what has happened that we've already mentioned of yesterday's events. When we leave, Apollo, Hades comes with us. No harm.
All of us.
With all of us. No harm should be dealt to any of us. And that we get to return, the whole group, within 2 days' time after heading into Castle grounds. He's going through the notes. He's kind of going back. Well, there is a gala in your honor that might have to put things back. About 3 days' time. I can give you 3 days. I can agree to the rest of the terms. 3 days' time, you'll get to leave, every single one of you, along with your friend. Unless he pisses me off by beating me in more chess games, then it's between me and him.
Absolutely not.
No damage will be done. All of you will be returned in 3 days' time. Everyone, including your friend.
This
Psychic.
especially includes Dahlia.
Everyone. Everyone that I see here, including with Hades and Apollo or whatever is going by.
I want you to be incredibly specific in that note.
He goes through and he looks up at looks at where he can see outside. Alright. Kind of marks the time down and kind of has like this little sundial watch on. Looks down. Alright, it's roughly about 1. Alright, so 3 days time. So, and then, so 3 days, 1 p.m., the portal will be set open for you to return. No later, no earlier. Return. Everyone will be in safe condition. No damage done. Any other demands you might have had? So looks amongst the group for any kind of looks of change.
No, there's a portal open. You promise us safe return. All of us.
As I said,
Say
no
it.
harm will happen to you.
Safe return.
Very well. As he
He does
just
fine.
like takes over the page, re-inks the quill. Safe return.
To this plane. All of us. Every single one, including Hades.
So he's like,
Write it down.
Jesus Christ, you guys are. So he just like, he's
Big
like,
bamboozle
all right,
here.
and he finds like a spot at the table. He finds- He finds a spot at the table, and he's like, all right. He sits down. He's like, all right, this is gonna. All right. So he immediately gets down. All right, we're gonna put down areas. So all right, we got Darylane, we got Sophia. He goes over all the names and he puts everything down. We'll be retrieving over to.
Do I hear Nyx's name?
You got, well, it's not, so you see what would be Nixia Zarrus is being put down in there.
Oh, so I see her name after
Yeah.
I told her she could go.
Yep. Yep, you see your name. And you see all the names, both standard and surnames, put down. Says retrieval at 1 p.m. I'll say this is a Friday, so 1 p.m. Friday. Will be returned at 1 p.m. So it'd be Monday. And
Weekend at Daemoes.
all in safe condition and returned back to the original spot, and it has the location, which is homeward bound, that is currently located at Curran's Gap on the central plain of Everett.
As long as it says we're all promised safe return and there's no like, oh, there's a portal open, but you'll be in a fucking cellar so you can't get to it. Like, I don't want no...
As a group check,
none of that.
every single one of you, minus Apollo, can give me an investigation check or a perception check to investigate to see if there's any flaws in this contract.
No.
I feel like Joe's just gonna be here like, sign the damn thing!
Right.
You're the one got us negotiating with Bill.
I'm gonna use a
14.
lucky point.
Jesus Christ. Sorry, yeah, sure. All right, fair enough.
23.
23.
That's
Got you.
a
I have my...
6. Okay.
I'm sorry, I tried to find my lucky points. I found them. Investigation. Please do better than 3. 11.
11. So 3. Okay, and Dira?
14.
14. Okay. Between you and then as far as... Ooh, still got good. Oh, Nick's got terrible. Nick's got natural
So
one.
we're about half and half.
She shouldn't be here.
So
she
Silic got
gets.
25,
I
but
don't
Nick's got
like
natural
that.
1. As you're looking at it, everything he says is above board. You don't see any flaws. You don't see any fine print on there. It does explain what's going on between the time, but it has no damage done to you. Safe return. You're being brought back exactly where you're being sent, and you're there for exactly 3 days worth of time. You're leaving on Friday, come back on a Monday, and you'll be transported through the portal that is created by Aramon's cane.
Okay.
With the retrieval of Hades, Apollo, with you, all in safe condition. Okay.
Out of curiosity, this is a side note. If I look down investigate with a 23, does Hades have a last name that I see?
Then no.
Does it just say?
I'd say what it would actually
He doesn't
be.
know.
What would it actually be? Would it would just say, well, no. If you have one, he knows it. So if you know it, he actually knows it. He has the ability to actually know because he has
Yeah,
never.
he knew
asked-
all of our names.
He knows all of the names. Yeah, so he has the ability to know.
Stand by. I will give you something.
Okay.
Did you
I did
not
not
even plan that out?
He's like Madonna. He's only got a name.
I was gonna say for right now. I was gonna say for right now, you wouldn't have asked her name, so it would have been like Apollo parentheses Hades on it. But if you actually have a surname for Hades, then he would have known it. It's up to you.
Hades doesn't. He doesn't
I
even
just-
know it.
Okay,
I mean,
so
technically,
he
has one.
If Hades doesn't know it, then he doesn't. It's
yeah,
what the person knows. So then what he would
Oh,
have
yeah.
down is Apollo parentheses Hades, as in he doesn't know. He knows that there's two personalities there, and he's just gonna say he's counting as both as one person, which it really is.
That's me reminding myself the one time I almost saw Gaiju's full name, and I was just like, wait, I can't fuck this part up. What if I find some tea? Anyway.
Also with an
That was a
AK Madonna, AK Cher, AK
Prince.
yeah Prince, formerly known as Prince, formerly known as Apollo.
Yeah.
Apollo
No.
parentheses Hades of the whatever it is. Academy.
He's now Snoop Lion.
All right, so he's like,
All right.
it's like, all right, if everyone can, as he just inks it and passes it, if everyone can sign. Initials would be perfect. Silic signs. Nick signs.
I'll sign.
Sign.
I'm shooting dagger fucking eyes at Nyx, though.
She does not give a single fuck.
I know she doesn't, but I.
Kira
fucking
signs her
love
careful
her.
5th grade.
I'm not getting her a wedding present, bitch.
I made Nick's a very specific way, and she does not give a
It's
single
fine, I
fuck.
Well, of
Gaiju says
course.
it. Gaiju and Dahlia. From
Nick's is supposed to fill up. Nick's is supposed to fill up the absent parts that Silic has. So it's like supposed to be like that, kind of like Silic can't do it, so she'll do it for him, kind of thing like that. All right, so Dahlia does it. Does the three of you do it as well?
Yep. Dira's very careful 5th grade signature. Yes.
Okay, very doctored signature. All right, he's like, fantastic. He immediately just claps open the book, disappears in his hands. I'll give you all 10 minutes if you need to take care of anything, retrieve anything from the ship, let your crew know if anything. I'll give you 10 minutes. I'll meet you at the deck, and we'll transport then. As he starts calmly walking his way as a gentleman pace to the front of the deck.
I whirl on Nyx and be like, okay, what the fuck?
She looks at you. She looks at Silic. He said it could come. And she starts walking away.
Ooh.
I'm gonna
I
lean over to Silic and be like her.
He just kind of like, takes a deep breath. Looks at you. She's coming. And he just starts walking away.
I just throw my hands in the air. Oh well, it's too late. If she dies, it's not my problem.
All right. Anything anybody wants to do for the last 10 minutes?
When I if I see Dira alone, can I go up to her and just about what you said earlier, I just wanted to apologize for what happened at Kieran's Gap.
You didn't do it.
No, but I'm going to do my best to make sure something like that doesn't happen again. And I'm sorry to your family.
Dahlia, you ain't got nothing to be sorry for. You don't choose where you're born. You don't choose what he does. We're all gonna do our best to make sure it don't happen again. It ain't just on you.
We'll fix this.
That's right.
I promise.
We will. And I give her a big hug.
I love hugs right now.
It's a huggy
This is a hug
episode,
session,
and
yeah.
I am down with that.
This is a hug session.
We need all the hugs before we go into the Shadowfell.
Okay.
And the only thing I am going to do as I gather my gear, I am going to leave behind the mystery sword in my cabin, because we don't know much about what's going on with that, but that doesn't seem like something that we should be taking into this castle. So I'm going to wrap it up and tuck it under my bed.
Okay.
This is a gala. Do we need fancy outfits?
I'm sure
He has
they'll
not
be
asked you to
supplied.
bring fancy outfits.
I'm sure they'll be provided, yes.
Yeah, you assume they'll be provided for you.
I will go approach Arthur and give him like a quick rundown of things. Basically, tell him like not to move the ship or whatever. Like, do not leave this place.
He like looks at all the two shallow canals from the leaves, like, get right on that. I'll make sure it does not go anywhere. Got my word.
We'll see you soon.
We'll be waiting. We'll keep the ship warm for you.
Appreciated. Trust you as always. If eventually Dahlia is standing off to the side, I will go up to her real quick.
Yeah, she probably would be, for sure.
Okay. How are you feeling?
I don't know what's gonna happen. I tried to make that deal as airtight as possible. But when we get there, it's going to be poker face. We can't maybe not be close. I just can't let him know our weaknesses. Maybe a charade?
Unfortunately, that's probably for the best. I know from experience. Maybe I can offer something for courage. And he'll kind of like reach into his pocket and he's gonna pull out the brooch. Your father gave me this as a gift. And I think carrying something of your mother's might bring you some encouragement and courage in facing off with her father. And he'll kind of like, if her hair is in her like usual braid, he'll kind of like put it at the top and make sure it's neat.
Okay.
She smiles. And who knows, probably piss him off, but at this point, I'm not worried about it.
That's my girl. And I'll give her a quick kiss. But
Just a quick in case, if Aramon's, is he like in eyesight
Yeah.
Then it'll be it'll be quick.
Okay.
Thank you. We'll come back together. Promise.
Good.
Let's fucking go! I don't say that in character.
As Erman takes his cane, he taps it twice against the floor, then twice against the wind. Immediately turns into a about 6 foot tall portal. As he starts walking in, as you can hear an echo within, please follow me in. But you don't see him, you just hear an echo, and you just see a distorted image of some kind of castle within the distance. As Silik just takes a deep breath. Oh, fuck, here we go. And him and Nick heads on in.
I'll follow after, but I have to like duck because I am like
You're taller.
6'6" with my horns.
Yep. Yeah, he had to kind of duck too due to his horns as well, yeah. As you all head in, you immediately enter in to the front passageway of this large, extravagant castle. For any of you who've been to Heartwind, this is very similar to the Heartwind Kingdom. Very extravagant, very sheen, and very pomp. Compared to what you might have thought of for Shadowfell, this definitely stands out as a very much a extravagant manner of sorts. If you'd all please just follow me as we enter into the main gates. He starts moving his cane forward and starts moving in, as immediately all the patrons that are hanging out in the courtyard move out of the way, knowing that you are guests of honor. Just kind of moving out of the way. They're not really paying attention too much, but they're making sure that they do not bar your path. Immediately, I need everyone to give me a perception check.
Oh no.
11.
Natural 20.
Oh shit!
Nice.
It's a 1. I'm gonna save my lucky points. That's a 1 though.
So for the two of you, especially at natural 20, you're able to notice that the gates themselves are a large mural. Almost looks like a family tree that gets separated into 2 parts. And it specifically looks like it separates like a light part from a dark part. Very much like a yin-yang symbol. For the natural 20, what languages do you speak?
I speak Celestial and Common.
Okay. Some of this is written in Celestial, some it's Infernal. So the mixture between you and Gaju, you can definitely read, this is the Heartwind family tree. As immediately the gates themselves open up, as you're able to see that the tree itself does not start with Zarrus. It starts off with someone else, and you can see written in Celestial, Malik, the first Heartwind. And that's where we're going to end it.
Oh.
Damn.
Well, shit.
Wow.
So
So
With
this is
the-
the Heartwood family tree?
it's a Heartwind family tree.
Whoa!
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, with that, everybody, with that lovely hug-friendly session, everybody have a fantastic week. We will have Star Wars tomorrow, Echoes on Thursday. So, stay tuned. Do not forget to check out those episodes. This is the end of Blades for the day. If you want to check out the next episode, it will be on next Tuesday and the following Tuesday after that. So, stay tuned. We'll see you next time. Everybody have a fantastic night.
Bye!